to my channel, and I am Nurse Lopez, and as you can see, I am still at work, but it's a little complicated. I'm gonna explain it in a little bit, but as you can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be talking about on-call shifts, and today is technically my first on-call shift. My first on-call shift was actually supposed to be last week, but my preceptor ended up not being called in, so as follows, I didn't get called in, which was absolutely fine with me. But a lot of people don't really know about on-call shifts, so I'm going to kind of explain it a little bit, specifically for like where I work and who I work for, but more than likely it'll be similar to if you have to work it for your job. So I hope it's not like too much noise in the background. I guess I'll see by the end of this video. But also, I don't know, the lighting is alright. But so yes, today I came in at 8 a.m. and right now it is 6:16 and it is July 28th, and we only had one patient today. It actually has been really slow lately. Last week I think I had 2 days where we only had either 2 patients or 1 patient, and we left at like 3 o'clock. And today technically I guess I was supposed to leave at 3, but it was another patient that was supposed to come in and be ready like with his access and stuff at 3:30, but his operation or his procedure got pushed back, so we're still waiting on him. And 3 hours later, so he technically isn't supposed to be coming in anymore until 7 o'clock. And at first his treatment was supposed to run for 2.5 hours, but the doctor changed it to an hour since it's been pushed back so much. So basically, an on-call shift, for the people that don't know, is basically, well, for starters, it's not with every position. Like, just every nurse does not have on-call shifts or a job that make you mandated to come on call. My facility, or my job, my company that I applied for and interviewed with, they told me initially that I would be doing on-call shifts, and technically it's like twice a week, and it's usually on top of a regular shift, but it can be just on a day alone that it's just you on call. So with that being said, you can get on, like, you can get called in at any time. Right now it's 6 o'clock. I'm just staying here and technically like doing my workbook stuff that I told y'all about in my update video, and till the on-call nurse that's going to be here with me comes in, which probably won't be till like 6:30, closest to the time that the patient is supposed to be done and like coming down here. So sometimes I've been told by nurses that they get called in at like, hold on. So like I was saying, some nurses tell me about how they get called in and they work all night, like till like 4:30 a.m. Sometimes they get called in and have to work till like 7 a.m. And that was one reason why I was really dreading like starting on-call shifts. And for the people, like every nobody knows it, but it's my 7th week of orientation. So I was told that closest to the end of my orientation weeks that I would start being put like more independent and on call, so I can start getting used to it, so after orientation I can start doing them myself. So basically you just get called in when patients have to run after hours. So say it's like a stat order or ASAP order that can't wait till the morning, the on-call nurse gets called in to do that patient when it's after the hours of like the other patients are done. So since our last regular patient was done at 3 o'clock or 3:30, whatever the time was, the nurse that I was here with, which is the person that I'm on call with, she went home and I stayed, and she has to come back. So some people get called in as soon as they walk out the department or as soon as they walk out the hospital, or a lot of people that work here actually live far away. So they may live like an hour away, 2 hours away, and you can get called in like halfway home and have to turn back. So when I first like interviewed and everything, they said that you have an hour gap in between the time that you have to get the call and come back. So yeah, you can get called in at any time of the day, which is part of the reason why a lot of the nurses have been complaining about them needing to change how the way setup of on-call shifts are. And now that I'm being on call and actually having an on-call shift, I'm kind of understanding why it is that they have the problems with on-call like they do. But technically today was kind of easy for me, and I'm kind of happy that this is my first on-call shift because like I'm here already. Like it doesn't really matter if I'm staying till 8 o'clock to do the patient treatment. Like that doesn't really bother me, especially with me knowing that we probably aren't gonna have a lot of patients this week like we haven't been, and I'm only working 3 days this week since it is my birthday week. So I'm not gonna be able to get my 4 hours. But if I do stay today, which I am for on call, not only do I get 12 hours today rather than 10, which if I get 12 hours each of these 3 days, then that'll be 36, close enough to my hours. But I also get a pay difference for on-call shifts. So we're gonna talk about that in a second. So we're gonna go back to where I had said about they can call you at any time. So some people don't even say that they don't even sleep when they go home because like they sitting around next to the phone hoping that they either get called or don't get called. But it's kind of sucks when they don't, because they kind of were like have to be planned like to not do anything because they have to come in whenever they get called. So it's like they can't go too far away from the hospital, or some people just get hotel rooms on the days that they on call if they live too far, so they don't have to like drive there and drive back or whatnot. So yes, today I'm kind of lucky for this being my first on-call shift, but I've also been lucky that I haven't had any so far, because I actually was supposed to start 2 weeks ago, but my manager just let me start last week. So yes, with the on-call shifts, it is a pay difference. So I don't know necessarily the specific set rate for on-call shift days here in my facility just yet, but I do know that you get paid time and a half for the hours that you work on call. So I hope that y'all get what I'm saying, but I'm gonna try to break it down to y'all, so for the people who don't, like, you're gonna get it in a second. So basically, I'm gonna write it down for y'all. So say it's 5 days a week, or no, say you got 4 shifts. So we just gonna say I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the 4 days. So usually you work on call shifts 2 days a week. So we're gonna say that I'm on call Monday and Wednesday. And remember, that's on top of a regular shift. So say I'm here from 8 to 6, which is the 10 hours for the regular shift, and then I get called back in at 9 on Monday. So 8 to 6 is the regular pay for the regular shift for orientation, and then I get called back in 9 for, let's say, a 4-hour treatment. So 9 plus 4 hours is, y'all know, so that's till 1,300. So now that 4 hours that you just ran that patient, which will probably end up being like 4.5 hours, because like you got to start the machine and then you got to clean up everything and do whatever you need to do before you leave. So that's 4 hours times time and a half, which just depends on how much you make. I'm not gonna tell y'all how much I make, but I'm just gonna make up a number. So say your facility or your pay is $25. So then you would do 25 times that 4 hours, which is 100. So basically you would get $100 just for the hours that you work for that on-call shift. But you would also get the set rate just for being on call that day added to that. So you got $100 for the 4 hours that you work on call, plus $54. We just gonna say that's the set rate for you just being on the schedule to be on call. So now that's $154 on top of your regular pay for the regular shift that you didn't work that day. So now on Wednesday, I come back and say I don't get called in, but I'm on the schedule as on call. So I won't get paid any time and a half or any hours because I didn't work on call. But I do still get that $54. So basically I get that extra money on top of my regular shift just because I was on the schedule for being on call. So basically for that whole week, I get $154 for the first on-call shift day, plus the $54 for the second, which is $208 on top of your regular 2-week pay or week pay. Because then if you think about it, that's 4 days out of 2 weeks that you get on-call pay. That's real good. And at first I didn't know that you get the set rate, and first off, I didn't even know that you get time and a half for on-call. So I will be getting time and a half for 2 hours, or actually you can clock in as soon as you start heading here for the on-call shift up until the time that you leave. So whatever time my nurse that I'm here on call with clocks in or clocked in, when she get here, I'ma ask, and that's the time that I'ma put down that I was on call as well. So whatever time that is, that's the time that I'm getting paid time and a half for. Generally, that's the same way for other facilities that do any on-call shifts. But I don't know, that's just how it is for my facility. But so it is a benefit for it being an on-call shift. But the cons that I have been hearing is, like I told y'all, you got to be sitting by your phone, basically waiting, not knowing if you're going to get called in or not, and when you're going to get called in. Because like I said, you can get called in at any time of the night, any time of the morning. But when you are on call, so on that Wednesday that I was on call, I also got to work the next day. So say that I get called in at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the shift or the run for the patient lasts 3 hours. So then I would be there still early in the morning. So they make it to where they won't tire you out too much. They'll give you so much sleep time between the time that you get home from the on-call shift to the time that you got to come in the next day. So you don't be walking around sleep while you working and stuff, because they want to make it safe for you, and they want to make it safe for the patient. And another thing my preceptor was telling me about is that I was really scared about is that usually when he gets called in on his on-call days, that he'll have multiple patients back to back that he be having to do. So think about it, you got 3 patients, and each of the patients' runs are 3 hours. So that's 9 hours just for the treatments, and probably another hour and a half to actually do the labor and everything, setting up the machines, cleaning the machines, going and getting your orders and stuff. So now that's 10.5 hours that you doing on-call shift through that whole night or through that whole day. And if I would have had that for my first on-call shift day, that would have really made me want to quit or something, because I feel that is a lot. They really be doing that. But of course, I'm not gonna quit because I really like my job for the most part. But that's really crazy. That really be happening. And he wasn't the only one to tell me that. So it's I know that he's not lying or whatever, because other nurses have told me that. But I'm not ready for that. Like, if I get called in and got one patient and then I got another patient and then got another patient, that's ridiculous. Like, I just don't understand. I feel like these patients, even though that they are stat orders, they may be able to wait till the next day, but I also kind of know that if they trying to have the run right then and there, that they probably can't wait. But yeah, so basically that's the gist of on call. And like I said, every job isn't like that, so you can choose to not apply for a position that is an on call position. I specifically didn't really care, because it's not like I do anything else anyway. I just go to work or home for the most part, so it doesn't really bother me. But for some people that may not want to be sitting around by their phone every day they on call. Because I told you, you don't have to work on the same day that you're on call. You could just be called in. Like, for my facility, we don't work on Sundays. We're closed. But it will be most Sundays. It is a on-call nurse that works on Sundays. So on that Sunday, you don't know if you're going to get called in or when you get called in out of that whole day. So now that whole day is wasted. That's technically your off day, because you can get called in. So I guess the incentive is supposed to be to pay, but if you don't even work it, then it ain't really nothing, because $53, that ain't really nothing. But I mean, it is what it is. But I'm happy that I was finally able to get this video out to y'all, because I actually recorded a video last week, and since I wasn't able to do the on-call shift, I wasn't able to tell y'all about it. But I mean, I feel like it's gonna be like a regular shift, especially since like it's still light outside, and I don't know, I'm like a little bit more prepared on like what to do, and I like the nurse that I'm gonna be with and stuff, so I don't think it'll be that bad. But if it is, like, I'll come back and let y'all know, but more than likely it won't. So yeah, if y'all have any other questions, go ahead and comment at the bottom, and I'll try to answer whatever it is in the best way that I can. Also, my Instagram will be at the end of this video. You can DM me on there as well if you have any questions. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I really got some videos coming for y'all. I got like 3 in the making. It's just some of them getting put off right now. So even if nursing not for y'all, I got some other videos that's coming. So just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and even that bell, so you can know when my next video is coming out. But thank you again for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.